evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is cup collection time on the European Tour ET9. We will have a winner very, very soon. Welcome along, one and all. What a few days it's been on the European Tour. Just get everything ready to rock and roll. I think we are ready. How we doing, Raymond? Good to have you in. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful night out there. Hope everyone is good. Everyone is having a wonderful evening. What a match we have up first. Humphries, the world number one, against the Iceman, Godwin Price, who is in incredible nick at the moment. Dan Dawson deep in the crowd in Kiel. Evening, Matthew. I always said I thought the winner of this opening game, but Gary's played himself into contention with these new longer points of his. The number 1 seed against the number 9 seed coming up first. What are we saying? Humphries or Price? Should be an incredible battle. Followed that, Danny Noppert against Chris Dobey. Martin Schindler, James Wade, final quarter-final, Johnny Clayton, Gary Anderson. They were both outstanding this afternoon. Then semi-final 1, semi-final 2, and then the final. How we doing, Rob? Good to have you in, buddy. Look, yeah, don't get me wrong, Gary was brilliant, but Johnny put in a performance to beat Josh Rock as well. Swiss Phil on the stage. So it is time. So it is time. Get those score predictions in, everyone. The first one is going to be an absolute belter. Have any scran? Yeah, I grabbed a microwave meal and just a couple of bits. Managed to get to the shop before it shut. Just grabbed a decent microwave meal. He is, yep. So everyone that won this afternoon plays again this evening. Tonight we play down to a winner. Around 8:45, 8:50-ish, we will know who the winner of the Baltic Sea Darts Open is. Godwin Price is on the stage. Remember, these two, I believe, will have a major, major say in the world match play. James Wade will play Martin Schindler first, and then if he wins, he'll play the winner of Gary Anderson, Johnny Clayton. Gezi won the ball, Emma. So we are ready to rock and we are ready to roll. Remember, still first to 6 in the semi-finals, first to 7 in the final. I'm sorry, semi-finals, and first to 8 in the final. How are we doing, Cadence? Hope you're good. Evening, Phil. Is Luke Humphries and Gerwyn Price the match of the night? It could be. How do I feel? I think Placia's disappointed this year, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's hit the heights we expected him to, or he has the potential to. What's he on? Last, somewhere between 6:30 and 7, but obviously it all depends on how quickly these other games go. It's roughly 25-30 minutes a game, give or take. But Gerwyn Price gets us underway. Evening, Marcus. How are we doing? Wade is going to win. Look, he could. James is a great player, but he's going to have to up his scoring level, you feel, to beat a Humphries, Price, Anderson. But welcome to the Chris Dobey Cup collection. He could win it. I don't think he does, but he could. It could well be the final dress rehearsal for Blackpool. Look, I think these two are definitely in the mix. Even got Carlos Alcaraz shouting. Why not? Humphries is going to get a look at the Gerwyn Price throw here in the opening leg. 78 for Coolham when he comes back. It's a very, very good final session, I think. Luke Humphries averaging 105, leads 1-0. The other thing as well that is very difficult, 180. Jofra's got a wicket. Go on, Jofra. The thing about this is playing in the afternoon, then getting yourself ready and up again to go again is tough. Things like the match play, the World Championship, that's brilliant because you know you're only playing once that day, once that night. You know, you get yourself ready. You haven't got to worry about going up and down and stuff like that. So, yeah, Wadey could go to world number 6 if he wins. If Johnny Clayton wins, he goes within striking distance of Stephen Bunting and a potential career high placing. How do I feel about Robert Owen this year? Not kicked on since the World Championship. I thought he played lovely at the Worlds. Not kicked on, and Gezi with a ton topper to break straight back. Here we go. They have both warmed up lovely. But yeah, I don't think Robert Owen's kicked on as much as I thought he would. I thought he had a really good World Championship. Correct, Marcus, correct. I think Gary wins tonight. I like the setup. Those long points look decent. But Gerwyn Price has bounced back from having his throw broken, and he's looking decent here. So Gezi doesn't take out the 152. But he will come back for 56. Tops for 2-1 for Gerwyn Price. The Iceman leads. Love watching Ryan Sales. Yeah. I associate him with Southampton even before Chelsea. Have I missed something? Who are we talking about? Gezi is threatening. Being considerate of Wimbledon industry. I'm still confused. No, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Rob. It doesn't make any sense. (3-1) Gerwyn Price. $180. Gerwyn Price is going through the. I still don't get it. Luke Humphries only averaging 92 here. Chris, that comment's not showing in the chat room, mate, for some reason. I say, none of us can see that comment. It's definitely not showing. Gerwyn Price. Gezzy looking mean here. Averaging 101. Please don't tell me Gerwin and Clayton could meet someone. Only the final half. Only the final. Bertrand did. I'm sure, didn't he start in the final? Humphries needs to get back in contention quickly. Otherwise, it could be over very quickly. Oh my. Whoa, misses the ball for the big fish. Gerwin Price is on it today. Luke Humphries stops that little charge, but it was only a hold of throw. He still trails. 180. Been having a look ahead, games at the match play for each quarter. Let's Gaff, don't be daft, mate. It's fine. Everyone can cheer on who they like. So my 4 quarter winners would be Luke Humphries, Gary Anderson, Luke Littler, Gerwin Price. Humphries at the point of no return. Gezzy's up that average to 106. He is on fire, the Iceman. I've just said it there. I've just told you my last 4. But Humphries not done yet. He's down to a finish first. But look, winning 4 legs in a row is difficult. Winning 4 legs against an Iceman averaging 104. No, you forgot the Fed. I think Johnny gets done by Gary in the quarters. So, Price will have to wait. Luke Humphries does win the leg. Connor, you can keep your delusional little fantasies with an absolute tin pot Mickey Mouse corrupt tournament going all you like, but it won't matter because PSG will absolutely drill you a new one anyway. Gezi in complete control here. Humphries has not got anywhere near in this leg. Gezi potentially 2 visits away. So 104. That is brilliant from the Iceman, Godwin Price. He sees off Luke Humphries. 102.51 average for one half of Wales's former World Cup winners. He books his place in the semi-final. The world number 1 departs. Connor, the gear must be good around your way. It's scrambling your brain. Dobey has won the ball. A good embrace there from Humphries and Price. A lot of mutual respect there from the pair. 2 of the best players in the world right now. Ashley, 100%. They are, both of them, but Gezi in particular. So, Hollywood against the Freeze coming next. What are we thinking? I would like Price to win the Worlds in front of Pete. I would. I did want to say that, Patrick, yeah. Gezi or Gary. I think that might be the final. Has Gezi been the second best player in the world this year? Second, no, third for me. Luke and Luke are 1 and 2. because they've won TV tournaments. But Gezi 3. For me. Love that, have love that. So we've got about minute and 20 seconds till we get pictures back. And then it will be Dobey against Noppert. The winner to play Price, who is one. For me, Humphries 1, Littler 2, Gezi 3. And I say Humphries 1 because he's won the Masters and the Premier League, where Luke's won the UK Open. So for me, Humphries, but look, the difference between them is wafer thin. About 10 seconds to go. So, pictures are back. Maybe, Connor, maybe. But it's two different sports, so I don't see the comparison, if I'm being honest. So, Price, first name into the semi-final, the number 9 seed. .64 either way. Yeah, I think it is. Danny's impressed me, to be fair. If I'm having a bet, Humphries on the price. Littler's too short. Wouldn't be taking him at that price. Yeah, 15 to 8 is just too small. Danny Noppert doing his walk on the stage. Who you think wins through? Forget the price. Still, it at the moment it will be Luke or Gezi, but I wouldn't be backing Littler at 15 to 8. The price is too small. Someone just popped a champagne cork at Wimbledon and nearly hit skin. That's incredible. G- Gary's the bet, the outside bet in terms of the price at 25 to 1, 100%. I got him at 25s. Humphries, Dobey on the stage. So we are ready for quarterfinal number 2. Remember, the winner of this to play Godwin Price. Yeah, I'm allowed to bet on darts. It's only players that aren't. And PDC staff, but I'm self-employed. Do you know? No, I don't, if I'm being honest. Matt wasn't. I'm pretty sure he's allowed to now because he doesn't have a tour card or isn't connected to the DR or isn't registered to anything. So I'm pretty sure Matt is allowed to now. Dobey needed that. I'm not sure that's right because I know other commentators do and openly talk about it as well. So that might be his personal choice too, but commentators aren't banned by the DRA. MVG beats Barney and Blackpool. For me, quite comfortably. Already, leg number 1, Noppert is asking questions here of the Dobey throw. Does he go for it? In leg 1, he went for it. Again, would he have been wiser to have plonked one in big 18 and come back for 3 for double 16? Because now there's pressure and he's got to burn a dart. 9, double 8. And he's missed. That goes back to, would he have been better with 3 in hand? Dobey to rescue the situation. Tens. Saves Dobey. He was second best for a lot of that leg on his own throw. Danny Noppert questioned the 170. Dobey now seems to be in full swing. He's gone from nearly having his throw broken to making a charge on the Noppert darts here, Dobey. What do I think of Cole Palmer? Has a point to prove. Thought he was very, very good season one for Chelsea. I thought he was average last year. I don't think Maresca is the best manager for him. Not for the first time this weekend, playing nothing. Yeah, 100% James, and that's why we question the board management a lot of the time, because they don't need to do this. Could have just plonked one in Big 18 and come back with 3 clear darts for double 16. Clarity of thought, because Dobey is now going to get a break opportunity. 9 for double 16 will be his MO, and for a 2-0 lead. And it is 2-zip. Danny Noppert, from being in a position where he looked good, is now behind the 8 ball. $180 for Danny Noppert. Well, I was going to say we were starting to get a little bit excited. Best player to play for both Chelsea and Spurs. Oh. Probably Glenn Hoddle, but recent times, probably Gallas. Gallas was an incredible centre-half. Again, it's looking like 3-zip. Poyet was decent. But I thought Gallas was an incredible centre-back. Just he was a little rat. Danny Noppert will look back to leg one. I'm a Spurs fan, Chiv. For my sins. Yeah, Greaves will be there, Hoddle, but I don't know, there was just something about Hoddle, wasn't there? Like, Jimmy Greaves was like before my... I think it's hard, when you haven't seen players play and so on, I think it's harder to judge. Chris Dobey takes out the 136, treble 20, double 19, double 19. Little bit of showboating from Hollywood. A lot less Spurs fan. that's why we signed the Japanese centre-half, so we can still get the Asian market in. To be fair, I think Son goes this transfer window. Look, don't get me wrong, he has been an incredible servant to us, but his legs went last year. Danny Noppert, averaging 103, finds himself 4 zip behind. We get a rare bit of emotion from Chris Dobey on stage. We don't get too much of it. Wow, that's impressive, Shiv. Massively impressive. If you haven't yet, make sure you drop us a like and subscribe. We are past the 43,900 mark. Thank you very much. So we need now to kick on to get to that 44k mark. Connor, I'm not even going to read your pointless things out, mate, because you're just being a bit of a prat. Phil, do you know what's happened to Alex Spellman's game over the last year? Yeah, no, he speaks of that. Alex does some really good bits on social media, and he's spoken about his transition and overthinking his game. But the last month, 6 weeks to a month, he's played some really good stuff again. He's won things on the CDC again, so he's getting back to where he should be. Like, everyone knows I rate Alex Spellman so highly. Plays the game in the Chris Dobey correct way. When you know, you know. 5 zip Dobey leads. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of Alex Spellman. How are we doing, Dylan? Hope you are good. Very often you see someone averaging 102 and losing 5 zip. Yes and no, Shiv. So I resent rugby because I was forced to play it because I'm a big lad, so I was half decent, and at school I was forced to play it because I was good at it. But football was always my thing, and I love playing football. But I was forced to play like high county schools rugby, and so on. But yeah, no, I still watch it. I still follow it all, but resent it a little bit because I was forced to play it. What do you prefer, league or union? Because I know you play both in Oz. On the floor, I agree, Savada has looked very good. I was disappointed with him at Madison Square Garden because the form that he'd shown on the floor, and he didn't quite deliver. Do you know what I mean? where, don't get me wrong, Adam Savada is superb, but I was expecting a bit more from him at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, Union, Marcus, yeah, I've never played rugby league. Don't get me wrong, I actually don't mind watching the Super League, but no, we never played rugby league down south. Boris, Union for me. Well, I was originally from Christchurch, so grew up with Dan Carr. I got the best in the world. And then nice. I couldn't tell you the difference. And Dobey seals a 6-1 win. A 107 average from Hollywood is very, very... Sorry, 107 finish, 102 average is very, very good from Hollywood. Chris Dobey. So I'm loving the chat in the chat room this evening. You guys are rocking it. As a Vile Northerner from a town with a Super League team, I like league. Yeah, it's a very north in England, especially. It's a very north-south divide where north is very much league. No, Humphries lost. Going Price averaged 102. Played very, very well. The Iceman. He's probably favourite for the tournament now. The only problem is like, again, I watch Super League, but I don't follow it. But it looks like there's a lot of internal politics and financial problems within the Super League system. Do all of your hard work, Phil. We enjoyed the show. Superb, mate, superb. Like, it makes me laugh that Andy Farrell got all kinds of shit for calling up Owen to the Lions squad, but I get it. He's experienced. I'm a player in Auburn, but I still favour Union. That's one of. I think you're in the minority, Boris. Most of my northern mates are all league over Union. Rugby, both codes seem to be dying a bit in England. Yeah, look, I'm not going to lie. I don't follow domestic rugby. I watch the internationals. I don't follow. I don't follow domestic stuff. The Lions is Union, Rob. What's your thoughts on drinking in darts to an outsider? It's be great PhD tests, research and different. Everyone, I've never made a secret about this that I'd love it banned from the sport. I don't think the sport needs it. I think it's a stigma and it's something that to clean the sport up. And look, I'm a fat lad, but I know I need to make lifestyle changes to be better. And the amount these guys play, it's not a good thing to have in the sport, in my opinion. If it got banned, I think, yes, the standard would drop temporarily while adjustments were made. Now, I think that standard would drop between 3 to 6 months, but I honestly believe it would come back better than ever. I haven't heard that, Dylan. I'll try and catch that, but yeah, it's not... shit, obviously, where I work in media and whatever, I can't say too much on it, but it's not great. Not all, has to be said. But that's the thing, that people would learn to adapt. Look, there's always some of the old school lot that wouldn't. But if it were to happen, the sport would come back in a much better place, in my opinion. But it's a real taboo subject to. Mate, he's one of the ones that doesn't, and that's the blueprint. That should say to everyone, look. I remember I was lucky enough to interview Andy probably only 3 or 4 weeks before he died, and listening to him talk, and he doesn't, right, the greatest night and greatest moment of his career, he doesn't remember it because he was that pissed. He says he vaguely remembers leaving the practice room to do the walk-on, and then he remembers waking up the next morning. He has got no recollection of the greatest moment of his career. I played darts on a Thursday and Friday night. I had to drink to play, kill my body. Look, 100, and look, you look at some of these are playing 4 days in a row, and so on. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's shit. Because obviously, look, we're not allowed to openly talk about it and stuff like that because it's frowned upon. But the word preparation doesn't mean throwing darts at a board. Have they under or over prepared? I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. Dobey, front nine average, 109.86, very, very tidy from Hollywood. And again, I get the old school mentality of why it happened back in the day, because where the sport came from and so on, but the sport is very, very different now to back then. Back in the day, Maximus, yes, I fully agree with that. But you look now with academies and so on, there's so many academies around the world, especially in the UK, that players are coming through that system. So it isn't there anymore like that. So look, the old days, I completely agree with you that's why it was there, because like these structures and these systems didn't exist. So I get it why we used to see it. I believe not, Rob. I was chatting to I won't drop the person in it, but they work in snooker, and they were saying no. The other thing, that in a game that is hand-eye coordinated and dominated, why would you overindulge in something that absolutely fucks your hand-eye coordination? No, the person I was speaking to who works within it was saying no, there might be a few of like the very old school ones. In that case, I agree that's what most people say. It takes the edge off and so on. But in that case, it could be deemed a performance-enhancing product. Like, again, it'll always, but that's what I mean. But for me, you have to force it out of the game altogether. You have to, for me, you take a real hard line on it and get rid of it. James Wade on the stage. I wonder if he's over or under practiced. Yeah, 100%. If you do it and go hardcore, then yeah, to start with, you go down that means, and they'll realise that if you get caught, you can't do it. I disagree, Chris. There is a very, very high-profile player that is still in the tournament that I've had great conversations with him off camera, because again he wants to talk about it but can't. That he wants it banned. Right, we are underway. Shindiggity has the darts. James Wade played well earlier. He was slow out the blocks for the first couple of legs against Gurney, but then he played really well. Again, you look, again, I'm not saying the pandemic was a good thing, because it wasn't. But you look at the players when they went into lockdown to when they returned from lockdown. Some of them were in incredible shape for one reason and one reason only. Yeah, wicket in the cricket. Go on. Schindler just looking to get the opening leg on the board here. Not really under any pressure at the moment. It's been a scrappy leg from the pair here. Leaves 76. James Wade down to 126, but he's only averaging 73 at the moment. Schindler tops to take the open puller. Misses. Has James Wade got a ton topper in him? Treble 19 for the ball. Not going to go, so Shindiggity will return. Like I say, a very scrappy opening leg from the pair. Martin Schindler has gone round the houses. And James Wade steals the opening leg. How are we doing, Leo? Good to have you in. Hope you are good. James Wade and Martin Schindler both averaging below 80 here. They are struggling at the moment. Who do you think will take it? Gezi or Gary Anderson? Schindler, chance to break back here. Oh, Schindler's upped his levels quickly. James Wade still needs to be better here. No, I think Lesnar's done. Schindler's darts are under pressure again here. James Wade back in front. 3 legs, 3 breaks of throw. This is weird. Is there a bar at every Players' Championships? Yep. Schindler averaging 95.88. Wade 88.46, but he's just winning the big moments. Yep, no, that's it. James Wade, has he just taken control of this quarter-final? Remember, no holds of throw as of yet, but Wade on course here. Or is he? That visit may have just swung it back Schindler's way. It's a good recovery from James Wade. And he is going to get darts to go 3-1 up. The honest answer is, Marcus, I don't know. James Wade, 3-1 up. Schindler in trouble. And just spilled some water down me. Good effort. $180 for the machine, James Wade. He's just doing James Wade things at the moment. Yeah, he's playing well, James. But again, questions about his preparation. Will he get it right? You say that though, Marcus. The first licensed premises has been opened in Saudi. Oh, they've got another one. They've got Gil early. Come on, England. This might be on. They've got Shubman Gill early. Bit of good response from Schindler. Oh, he's reviewed it. Oh. So, 65 tops, and it goes. Schindler needed that. Oh, that's never out. That's a howler from the umpire, by the way. There's clear daylight. We haven't got Gill out. Shindy's upped his average to nearly a ton here, but he's still going to have to break the Wade throw at some point. James Wade broke early. Schindler not on a finish. Wade is, so he has time. Doesn't need to go for this 161. This is the problem that you have when you play James Wade. If he gets in front, he has this unbelievable ability just to keep you at arm's length at all times. For two, the machine leads. Is he just going to continue? Schindler, again, good on throw here, but he has to attack the James Wade throw at some point. Not down to a finish, Wade. So again, Schindler has time here. He's upped his average to 103. Surely he'll be thinking, if I can carry on like this, I'll get a chance. Whether he then takes it or not is down to him. But he will feel he'll get an opportunity. Tidy little 89 finish for Shindiggity. Quarterfinals are all still first to 6. Semi-finals first to 7. And final first to 8. Oh, we got Gill again. Is he going to appeal it? Yeah, he has. Again, this is what James Wade does on his own throw. It's hit him on the knee roll. I don't know. My only worry is when it hits the knee roll, his height. Go on, got Gill early. Again, James Wade, 108 to put him within 1. 8 for tops. Oh, he's missed. He's given Schindler a look. Man, Shib, don't worry about it. If it's out, I'd rather know. Don't worry. So James Wade to move within a leg of the semi-finals. He is just that route, tops, 10s, 5s, tops, 10s, 5s. He is just an absolute robot on them. So it is now or never for Martin Schindler. He has to win 3 on the spin. Yeah, massive proper day of sport. So 2:10 for Schindler to put the pressure back onto James Wade and say to the machine, you're going to have to serve it on your own darts. $114 for Shindiggity. It's not going to go, so James Wade, of all players, you do not want to give a look at 124 because you know he is going to get a dart at the bullseye. Match dart missed for James Wade. He's had the chance. Tops to get within 1 for Schindler. And he's missed his opportunity. Now we know James Wade will go 5 for double 10. See you in the semi-finals. There we have it, on point. He doesn't miss. Doesn't miss in that area. And James Wade sees off Martin Schindler 6-3. Again, it's what you'd call wading. Martin Schindler averages 98.75. James Wade 93.90. But the machine just wins games. No worries, Rick. No worries, buddy. Now, this could be an absolute belter. Gary Anderson takes on Johnny Clayton. And you know we are going to do this. The Flying Scotsman takes on the Ferret, Johnny Clayton. They both played exquisite darts this afternoon. Can the pair of them back it up in a minute? That is the question. Gary with these new longer points. Johnny just playing damn good darts. How we doing, Colin? How is Vietnam? I hope you're enjoying it. My pleasure. My pleasure to have you all in watching along. Yeah, like I say, he just gets in front early and he has this unbelievable knack of just keeping you at arm's length once he's done it. Is the thing. Yeah, 100%. He just manages to keep you where he wants you. So, what are we saying? I know the chat room is normally full of Johnny Clayton and Gary Anderson fans. So, what are you thinking? Clayton 6-4. Gary Anderson foul, but Clayton's on a roll today. Gary has won the ball. If that helps your decision in any way, the ferret 6-3, please. I want a draw, no losers. I used to love the draw element in the Premier League. Oh, they've just sent one upstairs, England, to have a look. What have we got? About a minute 35 seconds. I'm not sure they were convinced. Anyone watching the cricket, I'm not sure they were convinced about this one. This looks more hope than expectation. They've sent this upstairs. Looks high for me. On the screen, I'm using the Sport Radar site, but if you want something similar to this, if you head over to the PDC website and go to their live score page, it's another version of this, basically. So how did that work then? I've only been watching the Prem since the Premier League 2017, they used to have draws in it, I think. So basically there was 10 players in it, and you only used to play one game a night. So you used to play everyone in the league twice, and you could get you could get a draw. So you'd either win 7 whatever or 6 apiece. Are you more into cricket, mate? Yeah, more into cricket. So, Schindler, front 9 average of 110, exceptional. What do you think of the T20? I love T20 cricket. I'm not sure. Has the 100 come down to the Oceanic region yet? I love the 100 as well. So here we go. Swiss Phil about to bring them on. Gary Anderson will walk first. It's time for the Flying Scotsman. Love that. And here we go. Boycott. I like the 100, Rob. I think in general, I prefer franchise cricket. I just think our county system is so outdated. Right, here comes the ferret. Time for Johnny Clayton. Dead format. Nobody else plays it. ECB trying to be clever. Nothing will ever beat it. And the thing is, Rob, part of the reason why I like it is aesthetically on the screen, I think it looks better. The razzmatazz they put into it, I just think it's got such a good feel to it watching it. Where I look at cricket graphics, whether that be the Test cricket that's on now or the Blast or whatever, it's all the same. Where the 100 just does it a little bit better. But that's part of the reason why I'm drawn into it. I like it because you get drawn into things like that. Or I do anyway. If it looks good, I'll give it a watch. If it looks boring, I'll turn it over. Plus, I like seeing some of the players that play in the 100 that we don't get to see in the block. Because, look, let's be fair, our other competitions are nowhere near the Big Bash, the IPL and so on. Not the very best, but it does get some that we don't see. Johnny started well here. Top 5 sportsmen you'd like to interview outside darts. Oh. Tiger Woods. Rory McIlroy. Andre Agassi. Which one am I going for? Kevin Peterson and Conor McGregor. Johnny Clayton breaks Gary Anderson in leg 1. That is very, very good from the ferret. Cheeky little 12 darter to break the Anderson throw. The ferret looks in the mood. 180. Carry on, gents. Anderson cuts the 180 in half though. Oh, have that, Benjamin. Have that. Johnny. Johnny. Talk us through how you're taking out 166, pal. Come on. I'm waiting. Oh, Anderson misses the ball for a 1-2-1 break back. Double 8, we are level. Here we go then. If you could only pick one as your all-rounder, are you picking Botham, Flintoff or Stokes? Gary just doing enough here to stay in front. But Johnny again making a move. $180. Gary is finding something, but Johnny's playing well as well. It's a bit of a poor setup from Gary there. Opens the door for Johnny. For me, so who were the three greatest England all-rounders, if you can only pick one, which one are you picking? Botham, Flintoff or Stokes? For me, I'm a Freddie man. Gary misses a dart at the ball. Clayton will fancy a look at this 116. Get ready. Oh, I'm saying get ready for the finger point from the ferret. But he misses. Gary Anderson, double 16 to lead this one. Clinical from Anderson. Johnny has a bit of work to do here. He had a dart at tops and didn't take it. Gary Anderson is asking questions here of the Johnny Clayton throw. But the ferret responds with a maximum of his own. Doesn't get him to a finish. And Anderson responds. Anderson is going to get a dart. May only be at the ball to break the Clayton throw. Johnny has done brilliantly. 140 to leave double 18. If Anderson misses, it's only the ball for Anderson. Ball is all he needs. The more and more I see these new points, the more and more I'm saying you gamble at the match play with them. I pick Freddie just with the ball. 05 and 09, I saw that man make the ball do cartwheels. Gary, 45 wasn't. The setup's exquisite from Gary. I'm not sure of the numbers. I just what I watched of him. It's amazing. 4-1, Gary Anderson leads. The Flying Scotsman is averaging 105 right now. James Wade is into the semi-finals. He will play either Johnny Clayton or Gary Anderson. Looking like Gary Anderson at the moment, but never write the ferret off. That's early, mate. That's early. Gary is just not missing. He is relentless. Johnny Clayton averaging 101, and he can't get near Anderson at the moment. Gary takes out a ton clinically. This version of Gary Anderson is going to be tough to beat at the match play. You don't live that far from me then. And 09 as well, Rob. I remember the state of that knee when he was bowling. He had no right to even be steaming in and managed to do it. I'm Alton. That's about 20 minutes from me. I'm Andover. Oh, this version of Gary Anderson will take some beating. Like, don't get me wrong. Littler, Humphries, Price are capable of putting in these numbers as well. But he's going to be tough. And he's going to get a dart at tops. That is a clinic. An absolute clinic from Gary Anderson. He has beaten Johnny Clayton 6-1. Clayton has averaged 103.2, which is sensational. Gary, 108.03. Statement sent from Anderson. Yeah, so yeah, I'm only Andover, mate. Not far from you. That was incredible from Gary Anderson. Yeah, I was unsure on these new points whether I would gamble or not. Right now, I'm gambling. Right now, I am gambling and using them. The old boy can still play. Did he tell me in the message? Let's have a look. Did he tell me? No, he didn't say. He just said they're longer. I'll find out. I think they look about 41 mil, Rob, just by the amount sticking out the board. I think they're about 41 mil ish. Gary Anderson has jumped above Dave Chisnell. He's up to world number 12 in the live rankings in terms of the race for the European Championships. He's his 5th seed at the moment. If he wins the semi-final, it'll go to number 3. If he wins the event, it'll go to number 2. And the one that I like to take a look at currently, he is provisionally world number 8 on the tour card race now. But coming up, Gerwin Price and Chris Dobey. Dobey has won the ball. So the tour card race is, I'll put it in the chat for you here. It's kind of what we look at to see where people are going to land and so on. So this is the order of merit where it takes off all the money you are defending this year to give you your total, but it also gives you a list of all the TV events you're in, which puts that first round money back on. So of course there is always money to go on to this if you win games, but it just gives you a rough idea of where people are going to fall and so on. What dart player do you message the most? To be fair, there's a few. I have a set of ruthless darts home there with 22 quid. I put 51 mil points. I've thrown Gian Van Veen's darts. I can't throw them. They're too long. So, first semi-final is about 1 minute and 40 seconds away. What are we saying, chat room? Price or Dobey? Well, what we'd give for a Price-Anderson final. To be fair, I have got the board set up. So in between the semi-final and finals, we'll have a chuck. First to 7 semi-final, Shiv. Dobey has won the ball. Gussie Price all day long. Cheers, Izzy. Price 7-4. How are we doing? Harry, yeah, is a big game for the Lionesses. Like, I think they beat Wales, if I'm being honest. A lot of love for Gezi in the chat room here tonight. We've got about 15 seconds to go. And pictures are returning. I think France win 2-0, England win 3-0. Right, here we go. Swiss Phil bringing them on. Interested in Nathan Aspinall at 21 on the tour card. Yeah, he's defending 200 grand at the match play this next week. That's what he's got coming off. How are we doing? Tobias, if Gary gets in the groove, those points. Yeah, 100%. What time does the final start? So, somewhere between, I would say, 8:15 and 8:20, roughly, I would say. No worries, Izzy. So, Gezi on the stage. So here comes Hollywood, Chris Dobey. Looks like Skinner is finally getting it done. That's a shame. I'm like I say, I'm a casual snooker fan. Tennis fan. What was your first ever set of darts? obviously I had a brass set, but my first ever tungsten set were a set of Harrow's boxers. How do I feel about dopers in sport? I believe everyone deserves a second chance. Now, you can make a mistake. You can take something not knowing. The ones that I find a little bit harder to swallow is some of the stuff that can only be injected into you. Do you know what I mean? Where we've seen some sports stars genuinely take something from a chemist over the counter because they were ill and it had something in. In the main, I think everyone deserves a second chance, but you have to you have to go through the process, and once you've served your suspension and everything, I think you deserve a second chance. The other thing is, I actually think that in certain sports, they are all on it. Boxing especially, they are all bang on the gear, in my opinion. The same as athletics and so on. And at that case, if they're all on it, just don't have a ban list and just let them all play dirty. Because then they can all take the same stuff if they want. No one ever. But do you know what I mean? It's like, what, Pep. There was talk that Klopp's Liverpool team were on some dodgy stuff. Some of the Italian teams over the years, there's been whispers and rumours. One of the interesting ones, I can't remember where I watched it, it was on one of them. There was a really interesting documentary about Marion Jones, which it's a really good watch. Gerwyn Price broke in the opener, and now he's looking as if he's going to take a 2-0 lead. Gerwyn Price doubles his advantage. Who, again, I'm not a massive athletics fan, but who was Mo Farah's coach, where there was so much chat around him, shall we say? Who you got for the next match after? I think Gary beats James. I've not seen the Linford one. It was interesting. The Marion Jones one is really interesting. The certain bits that I've got issues with is, again, I forget the young figure, the young ice skater's name. The Russian figure skater, she was 14 or 15, and she failed a a test at I think it was the Olympics. Now, there's no way a 14 or 15-year-old can do that on their own. That's a separate issue where if you've got coaches, managers or whatever giving it to a child, there's a line. Dobey looking as if he's going to hold here. 2 at double 16. Pins it back in this one. Better leg from Dobey. But Price bang on it, back on it here. $180 for Hollywood. He is in this tie. But Gerwin Price doing what he does. Keeps creating chances. With a maximum of his own 180. Hollywood is going to find it hard to break the Price throw if he carries on like this. (3-1) Gerwin Price. This is good. He's averaging 105. Dobey averaging over a ton. Doing nothing wrong here. So live lounge tomorrow and got some content to film in here. The preview for the World Match Play. Tuesday, get everything done I need to get done before I go. Wednesday, streaming from here. Thursday, streaming from here, sorry. Then something in the evening. And then to Blackpool on Friday. Oh, 100%. It has been a really, really good tournament, this. Gerwin Price, Gary Anderson, Dobey, Clayton's put in some magical performances. $180. Price has asked a question of Dobey here. Says, can you check this out? The answer is no. Price for a 4-1 lead and a potential double break of throw, double 14 for the Iceman. Pins it. The average goes up to 107. Iceman's on fire. Been hard to call a winner of any game. Yeah, I agree. It's been good. Do you think a few of the ET dropouts will regret? I think so. I think going to Black. Look, I think Littler, Michael, and Wright. It's a gamble that those three have played in nothing before the match play. They missed the Pro Tour and the Euro Tour. I think that could be a risk. Ryan Joyce not going. I know he doesn't like flying and everything, but when he's not in the best of form, going here could have been a good thing to get some confidence. First, I think it's 7th and 8th of August is the first one. No, this is semi-final number 1. 5-1. Gerwin Price leads. Yeah, 15th of August, the weekend after for New Zealand. Yeah, Pietrezco was a good match. I enjoyed that one. When was the last time Littler played rank darts? Oh, Christ. That's a very good question. Been watching along your streams, but haven't spoken. Hi, how are we doing? Good to have you in. What are you watching the darts on? I can't find it. So the PDC European Tour is always on PDC TV. It is a subscription service. It's 50 quid for the year or £4.99 a month. I think on that you get all 14. It'll be 15 next year, European Tours, and all the Pro Tour streams as well. So for the money you pay, it is very, very good value, I think. Probably Pro Tour as well, Rob. I've just checked, it was the 21st of April Euro Tour when he got beaten by Van Veen. Wow. 21st of April was the last time he played 180. Is he forcing Price to miss? He is. For the first time, Price has missed something. The 180 from Dobey gives him a chance. It's only a hold if this goes, by the way. And it does. 2-5, Dobey trails. Not a problem at all. Yeah, I'd say for the money you pay for it, I think it's great value. So, Dobey, can he build on that? Yeah, it's funny. #21st of April. Christ, we're now in July. Great maths from Gerwin Price. Quick maths. So for 6-2, doesn't need to take this out, doesn't need... Leaves 90. This situation, last time out, Dobey hit an absolute monster score. This time, doesn't. Price misses. Again, Dobey has applied pressure, but he's relying on Gerwin Price missing. Is it 2 stills in a row? No, Gerwin Price, last dart in hand, goes within 1 of the final. The Iceman has been sensational this weekend. Is going to be a huge, huge danger at the World Match Play. But Price didn't punish Dobey there. So Dobey down to a finish first, but again on his own throw. So 66 to keep this one alive, keep Price working. One dart at tops for Hollywood. Hits, we carry on. The consistency from Gezi, that's been shown throughout the whole of these 4 tournaments, especially. Yeah, he has been sensational, actually. This is the Iceman getting back to his very, very best. And darts is in a much better place when Gezi is doing things like this. Remember, coming up after this, second semi-final, James Wade against Gary Anderson. Look, it's a bit petulant. It's quite funny. It is what it is. I'd rather them be characters and do that than be robots. So yeah, I don't mind it. It's a bit of fun. Going Price leaves 48. Dobey, treble 17 and ball is the only saviour. And it's not going to go. So Goring Price will plonk one in big 8, double top. Goring Price moves into the final, a 7-3 victory over Chris Dobey. 103.14 average for Price, 101.38 for Hollywood. Good stuff from both, but ultimately it is the Iceman who is in the final of the 2025 Baltic Sea Darts Open. Price is there, but who will he play in the final? Will it be James Wade? Will it be Gary Anderson? Where do I expect Gezi to reach in Blackpool? Minimum semi-final. Look, the likelihood is he will play Littler in that semi, and they are both incredible players. So anything could happen, but semi-final minimum for Gezi me. Gary Anderson has won the ball against James Wade. How many characters do you think we actually have in? Not many. Not as many as we should. Yeah, it's all about the white sole shoe. Phil, do you reckon they should bull up on the stage? Yes and no. Would it make good TV? Yes. However, I've seen the ball last 10, 15 minutes sometimes, where they just both 25, ball, 25, ball. So I just don't think it works. That's the problem. That's why it has to be done beforehand. Dobey's played well this weekend, agreed. Would you say Rock is starting to become a character? Yeah, a little bit. I thought where he gives it, which I like. They do sometimes in the PDC, Marcus, in the Premier League before the finals and whatever. They were showing the bull up. 7-2. Gando Malachi's going for. So, we have got about a minute till pictures return for semi-final number 2, Gary Anderson. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. How inconsiderate of me. Yeah, the rule was changed after that because, yeah, Phil put one just below and Barney just plonked his on top. I think it's obviously, I don't know, but judging just by that, I would guess it's Pride weekend in Kiel. What's the score in the tennis? Phil, how do you decide who gets an intro? So with tongue in cheek, we just started doing it with Barney. We've just added to it ever since. So we've got one for MVG, Luke Humphries, Gary, Luke Littler, and Barney at the moment. But pictures are back. Gary Anderson has won the ball. Skinner has a break up in the 4th, but Carlos just missed 2 break points. Right. Here we go. The crowd in full swing in Kiel, Swissville. Mr. Brzezinski is about to get the players to the stage. The Flying Scotsman. It's Gary Anderson. Do you know the viewership numbers for darts? Not exact numbers. I should go digging and probably get them. But on Sky Sports across the whole year, it's only Premier League football that does more views on Sky than darts. Darts is the second biggest viewed sport on Sky Sports. Gary on the stage. Gary Anderson fan club in row 1, right behind them there, waving the Scotland flag. Oh, gutted. To be fair, he's done well to, after his opening round, he's done well to recover that. Right, I'm a big fan of esports. They've said an event that was 3.5 million today, including China. Really, I know the world final this year, I think, was 4 million on Sky. So I don't know how many more through dodgy sticks and boxes and so on. Connor, it will be a headache because Gary could be back in the top 4 in the world. Yeah, 100%. That they are clamping down on fire sticks and so on, yeah. James on the stage now as well, getting ready for what's the for, Rob? I don't see how they can stop it without breaking data laws. That's the thing, though, that the companies will end up changing their rules to say that they can do it. I know Eddie Hearn did an interview, I can't remember where it was, a couple of weeks ago, where he said the Zone are looking at new technologies to block the transmissions and so on. Look, I'm not an expert, I don't pretend to be, but just listening to people, that he said the developers at DAZN were certainly looking at something to stop it and so on. Can you see Price winning another championship? So yeah, 100%. Remember last one that you mentioned, if Price wins versus Bunting, he'll have good momentum going through the next tournament, and now he's back in the finals. You're onto something. But yeah, it's all about confidence and momentum and getting that feel-good factor. Winning's a habit. Slow start, though, from both here. Not at their brilliant best just yet. Took Gary a leg and a bit to get into life against Johnny, and then we all saw what happened there. That's not good. James has got no spare equipment and just Robin Hooded his dart. Gary in control of this leg on his own throw here in leg 1. Just looking to set this up. $95 for Gary. 7 leaves 88. Not sure why he's gone 18s on 88. Gary Anderson takes the opener. Wasn't great from either. Wade has a Robin Hood, that's why you use K-Flex. Yeah, but Dartwood just ended up on the floor. So, James Wade needs to up these levels. Gary Anderson, although nowhere near his best in this one, he's threatening the James Wade. Could have done with a treble there. This is first to 7, and then the final is first to 8. Gary, just asking questions. James Wade is a long way off at the moment. Marcus, he switches all the time. He very much used to be tops. Then he went through a spell for about a year where he was like in double 16. Now it's a lottery depending on what he feels like. James Wade needed that 140 because it gets him back into the leg and will give him a look at the 106. Gary Anderson. Oh, he's just gone, sod it. 180 to leave double 4. Sorry, to leave 4, double 2. Oh, Gary, you left it. You sort the mess out. Why not? Gary Anderson breaks. Oh, I like that. I can't be bothered to work it out. Bosh, 180. Who's on comms for this, by the way? Because I might put the comms on, because Dan will love this, if it's Dan. Oh. Nice. And DDD. Who's the third member of the commentary team this weekend, Rob? Because I haven't heard any of it. James getting better. PB. And Sinner takes it. Boo! James. The old 166 route again. How many times today have we seen 166 and 162s? Way too much. Gary Anderson leaves 132. No guarantee this goes. So Wade might get a break back opportunity here. He leaves top. Says to Gary, can you take this out? Can you? Treble 7, treble 19 would have left the ball. Doesn't go. Wow. James Wade misses 3 clear darts at tops. You don't see that too often. And Gary makes him pay 3-0. K-Flex, old technology, just marketed ridiculous. So to a point, I'm not a massive fan of the moulded fly and stem, but the technology in different, and this isn't just, this could be Fusion, Condor, whoever, that they're not all as rigid as some, and there's some give in some. So the technology is old, I agree, but that each manufacturer has made a tweak to it as what they think's better. The other question is, would the K-Flex be as popular if Luke didn't use them? You never know. That also has a big bearing on it. Better leg from James Wade on his own throw here, but still finds himself 3-0 behind. Gary leaves a finish, but you would expect Wade to get his first leg on the board here. 2 darts, double 18, pins double 9, 1-3. Gary Anderson still leads. I think that was more a control thing though, Marcus. I've thrown Phil's exact setup, and I've got no idea how he controls them. With that little short cut down flight, they literally zoom through the air. I've got no idea how he controls it. James Wade is getting back into this match. Gary is not firing and James is getting better. And then Gary finds a 177 to get himself back in control. Yeah, Johnny, there is just no control in those, I don't even know what you call them, mini kite flights or mini kites or whatever. Oh, Gary, that's good. Yeah, there's just no control whatsoever. You play darts yourself. I've got the board up here, but in between, because it's like a 10 minute break between semi-final and final, I'll put the board on, I'll have a chuck. I used to be okay. Got dartitis and I've never been the same since. Yeah, when I could play, my Super League average was around 75, but that was a long time ago. How are we doing, Gob? Good to have you in. Hit my first 3 balls this weekend practicing since Jan. Nice, Chris. Good work. Gob, just out of interest, have you seen Gary's new points this weekend? Gary, it's not the fluent game that beat Johnny Clayton. I've lost the footage, Gob. No, I haven't. Yeah, but it's working. It's making him even more dangerous. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. I'm trying to find a way of gripping the dart So now I can throw again, but Gob will tell you, Gob's seen it up close, where there's times I can't physically open my fingers quick enough. So again, I'm trying to find a way of doing that. Who's the best player in the OD team? It depends what team we're talking about, where I'd happily bring in some ringers for a game. Yeah, Chris, it's massively frustrating. It's just, like I say, it's just my fingers just physically don't open quick enough at times. It's just trying to find a way of gripping and holding them to work. It looks as if we are going to get the Gezi Gary final. Fan of Nico Springer. Cool. In your opinion, who's the best in the world right now? I still think Luke Humphries 1, Littler 2, Gezi 3, but you could argue those any which way you like. That they, in my opinion, they are clearly the best 3 players in the world right now. Gary Anderson is a leg away from the final. Yeah, look, Price is going to be... At the moment, when you look at the draw and so on, I think it's safe to say that Gezi and Luke Littler are on a collision course for the semi-finals. On a good night, Gezi's a dark horse. Just on any night, I don't know about a good night, Gezi is right up there. I'd assume you'd still be back in Price on the next one. Yeah, I think, look, yes. But I would also expect Gary to play better. But Price would go off favourite, yeah. But never write Gary off. 180! And he's now 91 points away from the final. And all of a sudden... these new points, we said, could Gary get better? He may be. And it's a 7-1 demolition job from Gary Anderson over James Wade. The Flying Scotsman just oozes class. And again, those long points, the grouping on them is on a pinhead. Could Smith lose his card in the next couple of years? I don't think so. I think Michael Smith will return and will get better. James Wade just nodding in approval behind Gary Anderson. That was a little bit good. From the Flying Scotsman. Got to say, this has rattled along very, very quickly this evening. Right, let's do let's see how badly these go. So that. Let's have a little chat in the chat. We've probably got about 10 minutes till the final starts, everyone. So that's the one that comes out the side of the hand. Thought go and still later. How's he playing right now? Superb. So just trying different grips at the moment. That wasn't too bad. I always used to be a rear gripper, but now I'm just trying to shift the centre of balance on my throw and things like that. They land flatter. Any questions? Get them in chat room. So these are always my go-to ones. I do like these, the Wimbledon, the Red Dragon Paradigm darts. I'm a marble gripper. To be fair, Gob, as long as I leave my hand right, I don't mind. It's just getting them out of my hand. So it's just they land quite flat like that, which is not a bad thing. Poetry in motion, not quite what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm just trying different things with the grip. That's but there, that's horrific. All three of them are at completely different angles because they're all just leaving the hand at different ones. That's the problem. The Marvel drift into the fives. It's just trying to find something that I can get them out of my hand quick enough. See, when they come out of the hand fine, it's okay. Time in, release. Like, I wish we could all throw like Gary, where it's just poetry in motion. I hold part of the shaft. I see, Maximus, my throw used to be like that. I used to throw right from the back. So, like this. But I'm not sure if that's... A lot of it as well is this overthinks everything. Not just for me, but for any dart player. Adding the little twizzle in there makes me get them out of the hand a little bit quicker. And to be fair, even when I was playing, I never drunk while I played. I've seen enough now. Put him on the PDC next time. Looks like you're having a bit of practice. Yeah, I just these are the ones that I always use. So what's everyone up to this evening while we get ready for the final? Your round 1 match up at the World Championship. What's up? Finds a treble from somewhere. Again, it's one of those ones that you know instantly. As soon as it leaves your hand, you know. What have we got? When did you start having trouble? So this is going back some, but probably 2002, 2003 time. Uh, 4:40 AM here, more like what's everyone up to this morning? Christ, yeah. Love them dark. Just trying to find something that works. It's just one of those things that I don't know. You just kind of get there in the end. Remember, we're probably 5 or so minutes away from the final. They haven't balled up yet. probably saying chat room. I'm never going to cut it as a pro, don't worry about that. Sorry, I had a big problem throwing my darts. Realised I sighted left-eyed and swapped. So to be fair, I've been trying on my left hand as well. Where can I get the grip on my darts? They flow nicely. Issues as well, hopefully. So I've kind of, it's not as accurate yet, but that just, I know they're not grouped or anything like that, but the release with my left hand just feels smoother. Like, it feels like they, apart from that one, didn't throw it, but the release from the left hand feels so much smoother. How we doing, Brock? Hope you are good, buddy. Try flight first, they'll go all over the place. Has anyone ever thrown both hands in a match? Not that I've seen. However, Graham Usher, who won the Super Series last night, he can throw confidently both-handed. Yeah, I've seen Graham play confidently with both hands. So we've probably got, it's just waiting for him to come up who's won the ball. Try underarm. See that they had quite a nice arc on them, to be fair. Can I throw a flat dart? If I move my grip a little bit maybe. Well, they're not accurate, but there you go. So just moving my grip then stacks them. So exactly the same dart, but I just throw from the front, and they like that. Maybe I should try that. Plonk this one on top. The old Chisnell. I was trying to hook it like Chisnell's follow through is now, and it's, well, it's horrid. How we doing, John? Good to have you in, buddy. Bar stack attack. Yeah, so that's just like that. That stacks them for me. Not a fan of the stacking system. Oh, he's found a treble. I think you throw a pair of Darwin's flat. Yeah, I just the flat one's okay. I just don't. To be fair, they actually didn't feel too bad release, actually. Phil, give us a Robin Hood. Yeah, I think Michael will get back to his best. See, that's the horrible side of stacking. That first one, you just can't see a thing. Forever running for cover. Wife wants to watch. Yeah, they 100%. I'm with you there, Chris. They are harder to control when you're going through the air like that. Now, I'm interested to see. So throwing those with the moulded flight and stem on stacks them. Interested to see what a normal flight and stem would do. To see if the lighter back end would perhaps not stack them. Let's have a quick investigation. So, same dart, same grip, but just a different back end to the dart. See, look, they don't. Let's give it a couple more. Nice, see it. That's actually 3 well thrown darts. Now, with the normal flight and stem on, they are parallel or maybe just a tad above parallel with the normal flight and stem on. That one stacks. I think you've possibly, Rob. Yeah, it does feel better, to be fair. I don't know what it looks like without watching it back. Rob, does it look smoother? Right, we've gone to a break, so we are not far away. From kicking off. I am going to have 3 more, and then we are going to get ready for the final. See, they are very well grouped. Like, so well. But let's switch back to normal view. That was a bit of fun. So let's meant to go 20's not the 5s. Do you practice much? No, I don't. Which probably doesn't help, to be fair. I should practice more and it'd probably get better. Can you put the guy playing the... Who's playing right now? We are getting ready for the final of ET number 9. Gerwin Price will play Gary Anderson in a final that should be good. They have been superb this weekend, the pair, and it's probably fitting that they meet in the final. My first memory of darts was probably playing with my granddad on a Sunday at the social club. That's probably my first memory of darts, was picking them up. See the World Club. Right, Swiss Phil on the stage. We are ready to go. It is time for the final of Players Championship European Tour number 9. I love darts. We really enjoyed last 5 weeks. To be fair, it's already getting that way. It's already 21 days. Right, here we go. Gerwyn Price has won the ball. If that helps your decisions or anything. Race to 8. What are we saying? Who in the chat thinks Gary can win another major? 100%. I should have stayed at home and watched the darts. Went out to the cricket. I'm burnt. Oh, Teresa. Oh, Teresa. Gary is on the stage. And here comes the Iceman, Gerwyn Price, factor 50 as well. Ouch. That defo not good. My score prediction, this is head versus heart. My heart wants Gary to win. My head says Gezi has been the best player this weekend. 8-5 Gerwyn Price. It depends on what time I'm done, mate. So here we go. The action is underway and Gerwyn Price starts well. The Castle's always a good club in Blackpool. It's going to be a match today. Can't wait. Rob, so it all depends on the player and it basically all depends on the player. So it depends if they're popular or not. So best case scenario, they come through quite quickly within 5 to 10 minutes. If it's Littler, by the time he's done God knows what else he's got to do, it could be 15, 20 minutes. Gerwyn Price looking at 10s for first blood in this final. 5-5 gets the Iceman off and running. Was on his own throw. So, Gary, over to you. Gary not firing on all cylinders in this final yet. So the pecking order is obviously Sky get them first on stage if they want them. Then as they come backstage, I'm not sure what the precise order is, but TalkSport, German TV, Viaplay, Betfred, PDC if they want to do a separate one, and then us. Price is going to get a look at tops for a 2-0 lead, and he can't hit it. Lifeline for Gary to get himself into this final. 14s should be the first start. Treble leaves double 16. Gary's miscounted. Gary. It's a miscount from Gary Anderson. How costly could that be? Do you bet? I don't mind a bet on the darts. What channel is the darts open on? PDC TV? Oh, Gary. But Price has missed. Gary does level up in the end. Even Gezi finds it. Even Gezi was laughing. Oh, even Gezi saw the funny side of that one. Oh, he got away with it, didn't he? But he relied on Gezi missing. The way I see it is dart fans through. We go online to see interviews. I wouldn't. Yeah, the problem is TalkSport, Sport One, DAZN, Viaplay, Betfred. They're all associate sponsors or broadcast partners and so on, so that they're always going to get first crack. But big visit here from Gary, and he may have the price throw under a bit of pressure. Oh, this would be big. Oh, it would have been good. Bullseye for Gary Anderson, and he leads 2-1. Wonder if these two get a look. I wouldn't say they're going to go out for dinner, but they say hello and so on. England penalty. So even if you get more views, that doesn't matter because their sponsors are, 100%. That if you're TalkSport, RTL, or Viaplay, DAZN or Sport One, you're paying the PDC to be a broadcast partner. So you're always going to get... Gezi looking to break straight back here. It's been a good response from Gerwyn Price. Gary not free flowing yet. Moments from him. But Price is going to get darts at 8-8. And look, this isn't a gimme. We've seen that Gezi doesn't find himself in this area of the board too often. I was more confident of him hitting 4-4 than I was 8-8. But yeah, that's the nature of the beast though, Chris. That's the nature of where we are now, unfortunately. It is 2-2. So, Gezi has been the better player in this game so far. Gary not quite firing as of yet. Needs something, needs a little spark. Ouch. Gezi missing doubles. But look, this is a big ask even for Gary Anderson, 155. Again, just leaving a double in case Gezi misses. This time he doesn't. The Iceman 3-2 in front. Timely boost for either player this ahead of the match play. One thing is a shame. I'd like to see more videos backstage. Yeah, for obvious reasons they don't do that. Gary not finding the trebles that he found against Johnny Clayton. Yeah, look, long day for Gary. Look, but this is good reps in the tank. Remember, at the match play, he's only got to get ready for one game a day. So, although, yes, at the moment, he's feeling it. Long term, this is probably a good thing. But 105 to keep him interested, keep him involved. Tops, you cheeky little rascal, Gary. Not this time around. I just think that if you're going to be someone out there in the media dropping these segments, it should be someone who actually... Unfortunately, it doesn't work. Darts isn't mainstream enough yet, even still, for that to happen. Look, at the match play, they will... I would imagine they'd have a proper reporter, TalkSport, doing their interviews. But darts isn't mainstream enough to have someone live on all the time, like on the radio. when you've got to shoehorn a darts segment into a slot, they just have to get someone to talk about it. Like goal swing, who do you think has got the nicest throw? Gary's is up there. I certainly think Gary's is up there. I like Gezzy's throw. It's very, very uncomplicated. (5-2) Gerwin Price leads. Yeah, Smithy's when it's on is nice. He just that frustration when he walks on his last dart sometimes. Darts does bring in big numbers, but not in relation to football and so on, which is what TalkSports. If you look at TalkSports' audience, it's mainly all football. So in relation to that, it doesn't bring in the huge numbers to compete with it. So they're not going to get someone full time on the radio for darts. Is what my point on the show, like. Jim White, I couldn't think of his first name. Well, like Jim White and Simon Jordan on that breakfast or the whatever it's called, that time slot, they're not going to have someone from darts coming on all the time like they are football. No shout for Mensah. I don't think, not Mensah's throw. Blech. Gary needs this just to stick with Price. This is a massive dart, and it's not to be. (6-2), that was a big, big miss for Gary Anderson. The Andy Hamilton throw was mechanical without being rhythmic. Yeah, again, Van Veen, there's a lot going on with it. It's looking like all she wrote in this one. Gezzy 2 legs away from victory. He's won 5 unanswered legs here. Vintage Adrian Lewis's throw was right up there, I agree. So Gezzy, 68 to go within a point. He misses. And Gary has squandered the opportunity once again. Do you know the difference? Not off the top of my head, no. Gezzy misses again. Surely Gando can't miss again, can he? Can he? Disaster. Disaster for Gary Anderson. So, Gerwyn Price is a leg away from beating Gary Anderson. Apart from the Premier League, Sky only show, what, 4 or 5 tournaments? Yeah, but you got to remember the Premier League's over 4 months. And then you got the World Cup. The match plays over 9 days. Wolverhampton over 9 days. And so on. So it builds up. This has been good. Grand Prix a week, yeah. Gary Anderson. That is classy from Gary Anderson. Ball, 25 ball. For the Flying Scotsman. I'm a fan of that. Let's let the pictures catch up. See, look, there's mutual respect between these two now, which is what I like. Can Gary add the big fish to the list? Not this time around. Gezi, bullseye to win it in style. Match dart missed. Great week for Gary. Look, and it's reps in the tank, which is the important thing for Gary. Gerwyn Price. Congratulations. He deserves that. The Iceman is heading to Blackpool in amazing form. Right, everyone, you guys have been nothing short of sensational following us this weekend. Thank you very, very much for all the support you have shown the channel. One last time, if you haven't, make sure you drop us a like and subscribe. Remember, the live lounge, the big preview for the World Match Play tomorrow, 8 p.m, plus all the talking points across the week. Myself and Dan will be keeping you company there. But enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you are up to. Thank you so much. Again, I've been Phil Bars. We've been Online Darts. See you all tomorrow. Make sure you're there.